process video, and I am so excited that we are bringing back Sketch Inspired One Sketch Two Ways with Vanessa and Lisa and our special guest, Janet from RTS Scrapbooking. This is the sketch that we're going to be using this month. This week. This is our one-page sketch, and I'm going to create a two-page layout from this sketch. This is my nephew Eli, and this is actually from several years ago. He was probably about 2 in this picture, and he's 7 now, so about 5 years ago. And this is when we were at Green Meadows Farm, and he was quote unquote holding the ducks, because that's his Nana, my mom, that's holding him there. So he was so excited to have this little thing in front of him. So our prompt this week is to use the sketch and then also use something involving water. So I thought that it would be a neat idea to use the same kit that I used before. If you guys remember the last video that I did for Sketch Inspired One Sketch Two Ways a couple months ago was this splash kit. So I get to use it in a completely different way than I did last time. Last time I used it with some pool pictures. This time I'm going to be using it with these pictures from the duck, or Eli holding the duck. So I do follow the sketch pretty closely on the left-hand side, and then the right-hand side I just kind of did my own thing. And I'm going to get everything down, and then I'm going to take everything back up. So first I back this photo, and this is actually a 5x7 photo. I print my photos. I use all kinds of printing service. I tend to use Amazon a lot if I don't have any sales or any discounts that I have available, because they have very cheap pricing. It's 9 cents a photo, as well as 2-day shipping. But I also print from Arts Cow. They are a company based in China, and they offer free photos when you sign up, and it's a different amount each time. I think I got like 1,500 free photos. I think it might be 1,000 now. It's somewhere around there, where what it is you are you get 150 free photos a month. So I had gotten 1,500 free for 10 months. And that's 100 4x6s and 50 5x7s. So when I have just one photo or 1 or 2 photos that I want to have printed or I want to use a layout on, but I don't necessarily want to just do a one-page layout, I'll print them in a bigger size of that 5x7 so that it takes up more of the page there. So I pulled out my Creative Memories circle cutters. I have had these things for years and years and years. It's probably one of the best circle cutting system that I've ever used. And it's been around for years, and I've replaced the blade set once. I'm telling you, it's probably been at least 10 years that I've had this cutting system, and it really does hold up, and I'm pretty sure that it's still available from Creative Memories. So I use the circle cutting system to cut out that ring that I'm going to put on the page, and then I'm using my Big Shot to cut out 2 of these little tags. And what I did was I cut them out using the same piece of paper, but I flipped it over because this tag has like an embroidery or a decorative edge. And so if you print it on the back, it doesn't look right. So I use the same paper, that sunbeam, and then the back of it with the yellow. So like I said, I get everything down. My ring, the strips of paper, I go to put the tags down, and I realized that there was just way too much white space at the top right of the layout. So I decided to take it all up. So this is where I put the other page next to it, and I'm like, wow, that is a lot of white space. And I don't even know that my title would fit that much white space. So I'm going to take it all up. I thought that maybe I could just get the ring up and move it up a little bit, but I need more. So I pull out this tool. This is from the Cricut company, and it's a tool, I think I've used it before on my videos. It's a tool that you use to get items off of the Cricut mat. I think Silhouette also sells one, but I find it perfect for taking things up off of the page as well, especially with ATG, because that ATG sticks pretty well once you get it down. But using this spatula tool, it really is just like using a spatula when you're like frying an egg. The paper just comes up. Nothing really tears. Sometimes it tears a little bit, but not as much as it would if I wasn't using it. So now that I've gotten it all back up and I am positioning it to where I feel like I have evened out the white space, then I'll lay everything back down. And so I do cut some of that out so that you don't have to see all of it. But I feel like this is a better setup for this layout. I don't know why I went all the way to the edge. I don't even think the sketch called it to go all the way to the edge. But now that I have everything down, I'm going to put those tags back down, and I feel like this looks a whole lot better. There's still white space, but it's not as huge. So you'll notice here that I have the 2 photos that I'm going to put on the right. So I printed those in 4x6s, and then that one bigger 5x7. And this is a kind of a go-to design a lot when I have very limited photos and I still want to create a 2-page layout where I will just, like I said before, enlarge it and almost do a 1-page layout and then add to it on the other side. So I'm just going to add some sequins, and this is the leftover sequence from Scrapping for Less when I was a guest for them and did a few layouts for them. I had some sequins left over, so I actually had 2 packages left, so I mixed them together because all of the colors worked really well together. So I added just a little bit of detail above the photo, and then I'm going to add this sticker using some foam that says Another Day in Paradise. And then I'm also going to use some Nuvo drops that I got from Scrapping for Less. So this is where I'm going to start working on the right side of the photo, the right side of the layout. And I wanted to bring that striped paper back. So I decided to create a banner for the right side as well as using this little strip. I felt it mimicked the left side and that part of the sketch, and it brought it over to the end of it. So when you see the 2 layouts together, it feels like it just flows really well along from the left side to the right side. This is the circle that I used when I cut out the ring. It was the inner part of the circle. So once I mat my photos, and I felt like this paper with the waves went really well with those 2 pictures with him with the ducks. Gives it some movement. So I add the circle and I decide that I'm going to cut it in half and add it to the top and the bottom. and I realized that I needed to ink it up. So once I get this down and put some fun foam behind it, I'm going to add a tag to the right side of the photos and realize that I need to take this side up too. So I didn't want it to feel left out. Since I took everything off the left side of the paper, why shouldn't I take stuff off the right side of the paper too? So I cut this tag out that looks kind of like a ticket, and it just doesn't fit. There's just not enough room for it, and I really wanted it to be to the right of the photos. So here I go again, taking stuff up. It's what I do best. Actually, this, I didn't have to move as much of this one over. And I'm going to add my journaling to that little tag at the end of the video. So now you see for the first time the two of them together. And I love the amount of white space in these two layouts. I really think that it comes together really well. So I'm going to use this sticker, and it says just add water, which I thought was so appropriate because usually you find ducks in water, and there was no water there. So I used that just add water as my title. And just adding a few more embellishments to each side. I'm going to add some word stickers. And I end up creating this kind of awkward gap with when I put that last word sticker down. So I think I end up putting a sequence there to kind of cover that up and bring some cohesiveness to the layout. I really like that circle element of the sun, but I couldn't figure out where I would put it. So now I'm just looking through, trying to see if there's anything else that I need to add to this layout. That's where I go ahead and add a couple sequins there. Just adding the final touches on this layout. So as I do that, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this series. So last time I offered a prize package, and I actually didn't mention it until the very last video, and I felt like I didn't give enough. Even though I gave a month's time, I didn't feel like I gave enough time. So I'm going to do another giveaway, and the giveaway is going to be the same thing, where you have to create a layout using one of the sketches that we used during this video. So it can be this sketch, or you can wait till next Friday or the third Friday and figure out one of those sketches as well. You can create a 1-page or a 2-page layout. We just want you to be inspired by what we've created. And this time I'm going to give a $20 gift certificate to Scrapbook Generations. I really feel like Scrapbook Generations is a fabulous local scrapbook store, and even though that they are not local to me, I feel like they are my local scrapbook store because I can purchase anything online and get it so quickly. They do have a brick and mortar store as well, and I really truly feel like supporting our local scrapbook stores are so important because I don't want them to all disappear. So all you have to do is subscribe to my channel and create a layout using any one of the sketches this month. So we're going to give you all of August and all of September to create that, and then I'm going to do the drawing at the end of the September. So if you choose to do the last sketch that we use, we still have a month to create it after that. So I'm just going to add my journaling here to the end of this one and add my date, and then add some Heidi color swap in what other color but peach. Like, this is a completely different layout, completely different paper, and it still goes so well with this color. I am so in love with this color. So unfortunately, I don't have close-up for you guys, but I do have this full-size photo here, so you can check that out. I did leave it a little bit longer so that you can see the layout in its details. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you have a scrappy day.